Hi, my name's Simone. I'm an ex-professional dancer. I first started dancing when I was 6. I turned professional when I was around 12, 13 and retired when I was 21. And the passion for starting to dance was to learn all the different styles of ballet, tap, song and dance, and jazz. One of my favourite performances was definitely doing Snow White. I was 15 at the time, and these were done during school holidays at all the different Westfields around Victoria. And that pantomime went on for 2 weeks. I played the part of Snow White. I went overseas at the age of 17, and then I was performing to audiences of 1,000 plus people, and that was very exciting. That was a full stage crew, big spotlights, sound orchestras. The costumes were very elaborate. I got the opportunity to work with international performers as well, and that was a hard gig. That was 7 shows a night and 2 on a Saturday, and for 6 months we didn't get any days off. With that came a lot of pressure with having to remember all the different routines, and as I got older there was also pressure for your weight and competition with other dancers, and sometimes this could be quite stressful and put a lot of pressure on you, and you could be isolated, especially if you were one of the more talented performers.
So, having heard stories from Simone's dancing career before allowed me to narrow down a narrative, rather than trying to work with 16 years of her dancing career that I would never have heard about before if she was a stranger. This was also a problematic aspect in some ways though, because throughout the interview, Simone would say something quite profound that I'd never heard about before and would have loved to include in the video. But conveniently enough, there was unwanted ambiance that couldn't be edited out, like the landline phone ringing or Felix meowing. And so, to save us going off track and losing the flow of the interview, I had to cut out a lot. I am quite happy with the end result though, and I discovered that having archives of her performances added a lot more substance to the interview. And this was great for the Super 8 sequence where Simone talked about her performance as Snow White over a mini slideshow of her dancing, which is my favourite part of the portrait. The use of archives really highlighted the importance of communicating with your interviewee, and as Michael Rabiger wrote in his chapter Conducting and Shooting Interviews, quote, "Just say what areas you want to explore and ask the right questions." So in pre-production, Simone and I had a chat about what I wanted to delve into, and looking through old photos of her performances helped narrow down my questions and tweak anything I thought might drag out if we spoke about one area of her career for too long. The production process as a whole was a lesson for me because it made me realise the importance of preparation. We were on a schedule, so I got there early and filmed what I could, but the time was definitely on the back of my mind, and looking back, I could have filmed more B-roll and used a bit more director authority when we were steering off of the questions, which will be important for me to consider for future productions. Something else Rabiger touched on was setting and making sure your interviewee is comfortable where you're asking your questions, which is something I took into consideration when we were planning the filming day. So being at Simone's place definitely helped give the portrait a feeling of authenticity and made the process a lot smoother because we got to take breaks and just have a chat between takes to check in. The whole director authority is something I'm still getting the ropes of, but I know that sometimes it's best to push yourself out of the comfort zone and not worry too much about coming across as hostile when you cut in while filming, as long as you're letting them know before filming and debriefing afterwards. Ultimately, this was a really lovely experience, and I'm looking forward to playing around with mini documentary and interview style films again.